Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. It's me, Vinod, sitting in Coimbatore on an early morning trying to get this video recorded and done for you guys. So I'm rather enjoying the weather in Coimbatore, pretty much like Bangalore. But of course, the traffic is not there, the noise is not there. So that I am grateful for. That said, the morning I went through the comments which you guys had put up in the last video which I had done about the AMD. So I thought I'd quickly run through your comments, give my feedback on that, and jump into today's company and about today's news. Yes, the war in between Iran and Israel has not been declared as war. It's still raging on, the conflict. Everyone seems to be sitting on their hands and wondering what to do because Israel and Iran neither of them want to seem to find any way to back down from this. And unless they find some kind of way without loss of face to back down from this, I don't see any way this is going to end anytime soon. So the markets are jittery, and you can see that the way oil is moving and the way the gold is moving and the way the American market ended and even the American futures and the way the Japanese market opened today morning. So it reflects broadly, globally, investors are rather nervous, and that too, this is happening over the weekend. Monday, we do not know how Monday morning is going to be. It all depends what happens in the next 2 days. So keep your eyes on the news, keep your eyes peeled. Whatever you do, don't panic, calm down. People invested through the great wars, they invested through the depression, and even here, wherever we find opportunities, we will get through this, through the other side. But wherever you see opportunities, the point is to keep investing in small amounts, and as we say in Tiffin Coffee range, and you'll be fine. Other than that, there's nothing we can do. Only when we get an opportunity to vote and make our voices heard, I guess we can do that. Anyway, I digress. I got a little too philosophical for my own taste. Talking about the comments, first one is from Sankil Ratkonda 5455. Great approach about each company specific and short, precise. Hard work, entire team showing on the video. Oh man, thanks so much. We're trying to keep every video crisp and useful as possible. There is a lot of work being done by my team, especially my research team. So your encouragement comes and means a lot to them. So thanks, Sankil. Wall Street Newbie says, this is so great what you do, gives us audience market advice. Well, I appreciate that too, Wall Street Newbie. We are also all newbies here. And that mindset is a wonderful mindset to have. I encourage all of you strongly to keep that mindset. In Zen, we call that the beginner's mindset. And that is a mindset which leads to a lot of growth. So as a value investor, being a newbie is a wonderful thing. There were some stocks suggestions coming in from TCR Investor. I would rather focus on TSMC, Micron, Signin, and not Nvidia or AMD. Not a moat if you don't have a boat. Fab. Okay, fair enough. TSMC is far cheaper and much is a first mover advantage in fab, and that when they make their chips, where Nvidia make their chips, and okay. I understand. You want me to also create my own podcast list where you can allocate $200 per week on this. Yes, OTC are much harder to buy in fractions. It's true. Because OTCs are not actively traded stocks. So you're right. As they say, you need the ocean for the boat to make any cent on the moat or whatever you like to call it. But, it is also important to diversify, and it's important to be in the supply chain. From bottom to top, you should find wherever you find opportunities, you should dip in. If you find a sector or an industry is where the future is and that's where the world is heading, then do take, notice of everything wherever it's available. And important thing is buying it at value. So you're right. If TMSC is at value, definitely consider it. If you feel Nvidia is too expensive, definitely avoid it. But when you do see an opportunity like this current global crisis leading to stock corrections like what's on the US overnight, and if you see an opportunity there, maybe you consider it. But these decisions have to be made on that moment, on that day when you're deciding to invest. And trying to forecast and trying to build something forward is very difficult. A list is useful, especially, when you're an investor trying to stay focused. And we will slowly start building an American list like what we have in India. The Indian list, we will slowly work on it and put up a list together. Maybe a little more time should pass before we decide to create a list is what I feel. Tirumurthy Narayanan Swamik. Please talk about US defense stocks. Yeah. Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Ryerson. Okay, we should do these stocks. Maybe this coming week I'll hit upon them since this conflict has opened up opportunities for these companies. And I know it's not good, but at the end of the day, different stocks, different companies are needed. So we should dive into that. I will. Karthik D72. Hey, we don't given going down kind of visiting surge on prices. Which US stocks should I keep an eye on? Well, that's a great question. I mean, if you're talking about oil, you can look at the major oil companies, ExxonMobil, Chevron, gold stocks like Newmont and Barrick Gold. They are also considered safe. And of course, there are defensive FMCG stocks like Costco, which you can also look at. But I will cover this next week. Coming week, I'll try and cover a broader spectrum and say if you're looking specifically at this conflict, how you should be playing it as an investor. But these are all short-term plays. If you look at a portfolio of 10 years, 15 years, these conflicts, come up and they go down in 2 years, 3 years max. But your portfolio has to last you 15 years, 10 years. So keep that in mind as you balance all these things. You don't want to go completely lopsided just on one history cycle or a news cycle. Prakash Rati Sahab. More informative blows off. Now AI-related stocks focus. Hardware. Absolutely. We have done many AI-related. We've done the Japanese companies. We have done ASML. And, there are certain ones which I have not done as yet. And maybe I can pick those out and do those also, which are component and supply materials related to AI. Today's company is all about AI too, in a very weird way. The company's come to news because of all the work it's doing related to its partnering with NVIDIA. Ramiz Raj, thank you for the video. I mean, people know the price. Nice question. Intel still dominates brand recall in the mass market. That's no doubt about it. But the AMD's real strength is being data centers. It is custom chips for AI also. That is something that it's a new way they're forging. And Intel is also in a process of rediscovery. So we have to wait and watch Intel too. But Intel still dominates the market. There's no doubt about it. Especially in the older generations, Intel inside. All of us grew up on that. Guru. I'm Paramaguru from Kerala. I've been watching your videos regularly. And the information is useful. Last week, Anand spoke about RBI Forex short book lending. Follow the rupee again. Could you please explain in detail the reason behind this? And one... Paramaguru, that's a good question. But this RBI unwinding Forex swaps, I'll talk about it more in the Instagram. So keep it there. I'll like how I covered microfinance over there and explain what's happening in the microfinance broadly. And then we dived into each company a little bit. Something similar I'll try and do about RBI and what Anand said on Instagram. So keep an eye out there. Manoj Madhavan says, big fan of the whole community, really interested in learning on catching the fish, starting somewhere, missing my focus. Internship in MoneyPechu. Well, Manoj, DM me on an Instagram or on WhatsApp. Where do you stay? I mean, it's very difficult. Internship has to be face-to-face. So anyway, DM me and we'll see what we can do. Drop in a bit about yourself and your biodata and we'll have a look at it. Karthik Ramans, 1035. Why do you prefer IBKR, the in-money, US equity? The reason I am asking in-money charges, minimal charges, or currency and brokerage. Good question. IBKR offers direct access to the market, better order execution, advanced tools, and then fractional share investing. And in the long term, I think they're very good for US strategy. In-money probably is a great for starting, but IBKR is you want more control and flexibility. And if you're looking at building a portfolio. But this is a personal opinion. There's nothing, you're absolutely right. Even in Indian brokerage companies, if you compare, there's a lot of cost difference. So you have to look at your own, budgets and make your decisions wisely based on that. There is nothing like this platform is the best or that platform is the best. They're all different types of tools. We all have different requirements. So whatever tool best gets the job done for you is a tool for you. I'm here offering my experience from the tools I use. And if it works for you and you like it, try it. If you don't, you prefer your tool, fair enough. There's nothing wrong. As long as you're investing and you're building wealth and you're keeping an eye on your portfolio and moving forward, I'm more than happy. It is not like you must do free weights or you do machine weights or you only do calisthenics and then only you become fit. all that is rubbish. It's more like each person's body is engineered in their own specific way. Same way, each person's investment journey should suit them. So don't get on to this thing of constantly comparing, and you'll be fine. And Vignesh Yelumale is asking something about dividend not crediting Angel One. I would suggest you reach out to Angel One and raise a ticket with them and their help desk and find out what's happened, because that's the best approach to take. And Vijay Kannan asking very funnily, will there be a man-made crash? Well, most crashes happen because they're man-made. Even the Israeli-Iran conflict, it's man-made. So, what isn't man-made? Very few. And nature is far kinder to us than we are to ourselves. Anyway, getting again philosophical. This is not a philosophy channel. Do you consider Alibaba a penny stock? Torodinson is asking. I feel it's undervalued. Do you think there's any chance reaching their fair valuations anytime soon? Well, not a penny stock by definition. And the sentiment is what is crushing the price. Fundamentals are strong, but the problem is China is risk right now as the premiums is down. So I'll talk about Alibaba and deep dive about it, but maybe a little further down the road, because you guys have given me enough to chew on. And one of the things I'm chewing on today is what you guys gave me, because this company has made the news recently and everyone feels that it's going through a renaissance like what Satya did for Microsoft. Jitu Patel, is he resetting Cisco is a big question. Is this the beginning of the comeback? There's lots of articles floating around. You guys can pull them and read them. They're very interesting. Basically what they're saying is, from Cisco being a sales-driven company, they're going to become a product-led division, because this guy comes from a product background, and he's going to offer Cisco what's that they did for Microsoft, from moving from a very Windows-heavy based product to moving to cloud, and then taking the stock price almost up from where it was. So this is the main thing everyone feels. Investors seem to be feeling this, and is it there? And you can see the sentiment in the market. Year to date, the shares up 10% and is hit a 52-week high. And the main reason they feel this is going to happen is because Cisco is tied up with NVIDIA, and they got this new AI networking platform integrated with AI. And they feel this partnership is going to take Cisco to a new place, because Cisco's got its own silicon, proprietary silicon, I think it's called Silicon One, and all that together is that is the positive. The pragmatic side is saying, hey, end of the day, this is repackaging NVIDIA. It's all NVIDIA everywhere anyways. So basically what they're doing is taking NVIDIA, putting it inside, slapping a Cisco label on it and selling it. So it's NVIDIA dependent. So there were the analysis, I guess, you have to see. If you are a networking expert, or if you're in the know of the industry, think about that, And if you have some insight, share it in the comments, because we would all love to read and understand what your insight is and what your opinions about is Cisco would be able to make this pivotal move is the big question. Because if you look where it is sitting on a lot of debt, right? If you see in the last, from 2023 to 2024, from $9 billion, they've gone up to $32 billion in debt. And Wall Street is saying there's still an upside of 10%, which I find phenomenal. Revenue for last quarter was $14 billion. The EPS is $0.96 per share. The free cash flow for the last quarter was $3.8 billion. The PE ratio is currently standing at 26, which is quite high considering their history, because from 2022 to 2024, they've slid up from 16 PE to 19. So this is a tremendous jump they've had in their valuations. Market cap stands at $253 billion with a dividend yield of 2.5. Now the price they're trading at is $64, and discounted cash flow puts it at 54, and relative value I would say is at 58. So that means the intrinsic value is around 56, and they're overbought around by 10 to 13%. And I would say, even looking at it historically, it's not looking very attractive. But the question remains, as far as Cisco is concerned, is it having a Microsoft moment? Initial days when Nadella took over Microsoft and all this was being rejugged, a lot of us were sitting there thinking, it's not going to happen. The people who believed it was happening and who've invested, and they've been better for the journey, and they have seen great returns in Microsoft. There are equal numbers of companies which are done the same thing, but didn't succeed to come out the other end looking so pretty. I can name a lot of tech-heavy companies which did this. So the question remains, does Cisco have it? So that is something you will have to deep dive and see. Is Jitu Patel the hero of Cisco is the question. Because there is another company which is sitting there, competitor like Arista Networks, I think it is called, correct, yeah, Arista Networks. And they continue to gain market share and is being praised and sung songs about for their product, which is a single OS and it seamlessly integrates and manages across products. So will they be doing better than Cisco? Because Cisco still has a lot of fragmentation. It's a lot of people, what people feel. So I've given you the Cisco numbers. I still feel maybe we have missed the initial burst out of the gate in Cisco because its market has pushed it to sky-high valuations. You see the earnings, do you see the product pipeline as a long-term investor, or is this just a lot of hype and it's really not a comeback? Is it a hype cycle or is it a genuine comeback is a question. I'd love to hear your opinion on Cisco. So put your comments down. I'll read them and I'll give you my feedback on your comments too. Thanks for watching, Viraj. I did record this a little early in the day, so still sun is coming slowly out of the sky and behind the clouds behind me. So wherever you are, I hope you're having a wonderful day or a wonderful evening, whichever part of the world you're watching this from. Thanks for watching, Viraj. I hope you had a great day or you're continuing having a good one too. Good evening from here in India. Bye.